What is going on, everyone? I know I haven't been putting out these YouTube videos as often as I should be, but that's all going to change. But before we get into the gameplay, the pros, the cons, how to build it. I mean, let's get a little bit of history of this USS Johnston, because Commander Evans, who commanded the USS Johnston, he literally said, "Hold my beer," and this is how it went down. It was during the Battle of Samar. It was a pivotal engagement in the larger battle at Lafayette Gulf. And it occurred on October 25th, 1944, during World War II. It involved Taffy 3, which was a group of American escort carriers and their supporting destroyers and destroyer escorts, facing off against a vastly superior Japanese fleet commanded by Vice Admiral Takao Kurita. Now, the American unit Taffy 3 was composed of a smaller escort carriers, including destroyers like the USS Johnston, which was a Fletcher class, amongst others. These ships were essential in providing air cover and support for the landing forces during the invasion of Leyte in the Philippines. Hence, we have the Philippine port up here. But on October 25th, that morning, Taffy 3 encountered Kurita's center force, which included the formidable battleship Yamato. Cruisers and destroyers, despite being outnumbered and outgunned, Taffy 3 engaged the Japanese fleet to protect the vulnerable escort carriers. Commander Ernest E. Evans of the USS Johnston made a daring decision to attack the Japanese fleet head-on, diverting their attention for more vulnerable escort carriers. Johnston, along with the other destroyers and escort ships, launched torpedo attacks and laid smoke screens to disrupt the enemy's advances. Now, during this battle, Johnston engaged multiple Japanese ships, including the heavy cruiser Kumano. Scoring numerous hits despite sustaining heavy fire, Johnston's actions brought precious time for the escort carriers to maneuver and launch their aircraft against the enemy. However, the relentless Japanese barrage eventually took its toll on Johnston, and she was hit repeatedly by shells from the Yamato and other Japanese ships, causing her severe damage and casualties. Despite the crew's valiant efforts, Johnston's ability to fight was compromised. She was ultimately sunk. But the battle was fierce and chaotic, a contest of bravery and sacrifice. Johnston's crew demonstrated extraordinary courage in facing overwhelming odds, with many sacrificing their lives to protect their countrymen and their escort carriers. Commander Evans himself went down with the ship, becoming a symbol of selfless leadership and heroism. The Battle off Samar underscored the resilience and determination of the American forces in the Pacific Theater during the fight on Lafayette. Now, the actions at Taffy 3, including the USS Johnston, helped turn the tide in the favor of the Allies during the Battle of Lafayette Gulf, marking a significant moment in naval history. Now, she is an absolute monster in Tier 9. Now, if we sit here and take a look at her, upgrades, 110% spring for that coal engine boost upgrade. When you look at the equipment on her, she does have the option of doing defense AA. The AA is just not that good with as maneuverable and how fast she is in general. We're gonna get rid of those. 39. I mean, I do have a speed flag on. We'll take that off. 38 is the top speed of her. 39 with a speed flag. Well, 40 with a speed flag. And then with that engine boost, you're up there. You're hitting 43 all day. And I absolutely love her. With a rudder shift time at 3 seconds and a turn signal of 580, she's pretty maneuverable. She's able to make those tight turns, and she's just an absolute pain in the ass to deal with. Now, one thing that's super interesting about her is the main artillery. They're 127s, and the reload time is 3.8 seconds. 3.8 seconds. But if you use the funny button, you're firing 3 salvos in 7.5. Literally the same time it would take you to fire 2 shots, you're getting 3 shots off. Why you would really want to change off the funny button? I mean, really for random 1 pop shot here to finish off a low health DD where you don't need to go accuracy by volume. But we all like accuracy by volume. So kind of situational when you would end up using that. But I pretty much run it with the funny button on immediately. Now, she doesn't have AP. She has SAP. and her sap does pin 36, so you're able to hit nose on a cruisers. You can hit cruisers, destroyers, light cruisers absolutely hate you. Other destroyers, you're a destroyer hunter, really. For the vast majority of the time, you are very good at just making other destroyers feel bad about themselves, especially if it's a torpedo boat and their guns are slow for that reload. HE is not that bad. I mean, 21% or 21 millimeter pin, 5%. It's all right. You set your fires. I mean, get your salvo off, set your fires. Once you got a fire burning, then just switch over to the sap for your battleships and cruisers. But the build, now everyone's going to have a little different build. I did not go for range because the actual distance of the firing range on here is just not that great. You're looking at a long, lofty flight time with these shells over that range. It's just not worth it to add the range onto it. The recommended build for it is actually a very solid recommendation that I actually run with. I've switched it to Fearless Brawler and got rid of Swiftfish and filled the tubes, and I put Fearless Brawler on with gun turrets, and just kind of did like a little bit of a change through here. But running it how they suggesting wargaming is really just kind of the best way to do it, really. I do enjoy this setup. I do have main battery reload time. You want to build into the guns on this. 100% you want to build into the guns. It is a phenomenal boat. She's gorgeous. She does have 2 sets of 5 for the torpedoes, so you do have 10 torpedoes. And they're not bad. They're not bad torpedoes. They do some damage at 13.5 kilometers, 17.9k damage at 69 knots. They're not ungodly slow like the black. They do some work. They're solid torps. They do hit, and they do hit hard. But without further ado, let's get into the actual gameplay of this. All right, let's get into this. This is a top tier game. So I did hit top tier in here. She is phenomenal at top tier. Now I have everything. I know some people complain about having mods on the screen, but I like having them up here so people could reference them for themselves. They're like, hey, what's the detect on that ship again? Or what's the firing range? Or what's the time? And that's why I keep everything how I keep it. But what I always like to do, especially with a ship that's this speedy and this maneuverable, is I'm going to go over to BCAP here. I don't have any carriers other than a battleship who cosplays as a CV main. Oh, we won't talk about the Kearsarge. Though she actually is a great ship. A lot of people give it a lot of shit, but when you have quad North Carolina guns on it, they hurt. They do hurt. I have deleted plenty of cruisers and light cruisers with a single salvo from that ship. But she very much is a cap contester at being at 5.8 detect and being as fast as she is. I absolutely love her. And you'll see how good of a cap detector she really is. Just with the sheer firepower, the volume that comes out of her, she really is very much a death by volume and accuracy by volume. Otherwise, would it really be American? Let me know in the comments if you guys would like me to do a giveaway with a USS Johnston. In fact, I think I will do a giveaway with the USS Johnston. But when? What date should I do it? Will it be this Friday coming up? Or should I do it next week? I don't know. But I'm going to give out one of these during one of my streams. So come by, say hi, hang out. Don't need a follow. It's just I like giving out to the community. I do giveaways every Friday and Saturday night every week. It's always premium containers of whatever premium containers are going on for the night. But we're going to sit here, use this island as a little torpedo coverage. Since we already know that there is a DD somewhere in this area. For some, back it up. Just back it up. You guys already see I already have my funny button set there, and now we have that DD here contesting the cap. So let's see where we think he's at. Do I have to do a speedy giveaway? Go ahead and pop that coal booster. Gives me 2.5 minutes of it, which is plenty of time to do something stupid. And there we go. We got torpedoes that way. Somebody fired deep waters at a DD. We won't question the Wukong for doing that. We go ahead and launch these out here. See if we can get a hit, since we know he's kind of in that general direction from where those torpedoes are going. With a skadoosh. One skadoosh, 16.7k, flooding out, 3,000 health left. Go ahead and we have that funny button. Just say goodnight. Take a look at the Helena. He's shot. Let's go ahead and stop here and throttle juke that shot. This is now my cap. I own this cap. With the torpedo reload time being a long, 2-minute reload, 2.5-minute reload, we're not gonna really say she's a torpedo boat, but very much could be. You could definitely build this out to be a torpedo, definitely a torpedo hybrid if you wanted. I mean, play around with it. That's a great thing about warships. There's always the meta builds, and there's always like the meme builds, and you could definitely meme this one out if you wanted to. But we're gonna go over here and keep these boats over here spotted and try to take a look at that DD snuggled up to that island there, since he's not smart enough to get into the cap itself with that Riga going on the opposite side. For some reason, he is on that side with the Riga. Not smart enough. He just put himself in a bad position. So I'm going to go over here and keep this Helena lit. Then don't really want to get those German secondaries on me. Sejong's stupid amount of HE spamming that he could do. He's definitely focused, and he's tunnel vision down on that Vlad on the other side. Now, where are you, little DD? And there you are. Get the fancy paint, buddy. We're going to have to talk to you about your fancy paint over here. We're going to throw these torpedoes out. Focus down this DD, since all you can do is back up at this point. He's kind of in a bad position. Try to sit here and dodge as much as I can from the battleship and the two cruisers over here. This is not going to be the most fun because my smoke is still 25 seconds away. Gotta get that DD out of here. And we look like we got some good torpedo hits going on that battleship. There's 24k. There's 48,000 damage off of 4 torpedo hits on a broadside German battleship. Good timing. Time to go dark and break that line of sight. And farm out with this battleship for the next foreseeable future. I already know I have nobody else around me, so why not? As long as you get that superstructure on that battleship, you'll start doing that damage that you need. There it is. Damage done. Go ahead and help out against this Shijan here. But I'm not too worried about it. You guys see how floaty those shells really are from that distance. Like I said, shooting at max range is just not ideal. Maybe if you're up tiered and there's a slow Hanover or Yamato or Shiki, Kremlin, I don't know. Any of the slow, just derpy BBs at that tier, I mean, you can't sit there and farm them out. Just because they can't outrun you, worth a damn. But yeah, I mean, really overall, you're not going to sit there and try to shoot at a light cruiser at max range. It's just not smart, and it's not going to happen. Maybe if you want to polish off like the remaining like 2k health, then yeah, send it. But situationally, you're not going to sit here. Like I want to sit here at my range at 12.5 kilometers at this Kansas and try to farm him out. It's not going to happen. I mean, pop shots, yeah, but trying to be realistic about them. Like I'll do some pop shots at this, but it's not going to matter. Just look at that flight time. And it's just 3,000. I mean, really just trying to reset that cap because I don't know what's going to happen with the rest of my team here. So reset the cap, but good old GJ AP go burr. So the only thing we really have left is that Kurosawa behind the island at E2. The Shijan that went dark, and the Riga looks like it's hunting him out. And then we have two very low health DDs. You have the Mangumo with 255 left, and the GJ with 564 left. Vlad at 10k health. And I just know for a fact that black will absolutely have a field day if you see the Mangumo or the GJ. They're just easy kills for the evening. I have some time. Luckily, my DD spotted him for the fact of his own life. But he spotted him, was able to reset him for a brief moment, which gives me time to come over here. I can see which way he's going to go. There's really only a couple ways that he could go at this point. He could either go down south of the center sea, or he's going to go in the middle, but he decided to go middle, get some shots off. Reset the cap again. He fired super short on that firing, but he is somewhere in here. But which direction is he going to go? Is he going to sit there and try to get the cap and fully secure it? Is he going to try to run? So my thoughts were he could really only be one of two places, and that was my first guess. Now I did lead him a little short on there. They get a couple of hits. Reset it through just one rack. I only wanted to throw one rack just to scare him since these torpedoes are so ungodly slow. And that's it. Beach himself trying to hide in the smoke, just didn't have enough health to hold on to. Like I said, this DD is very much a DD hunter. I mean, yeah, it doesn't have a hydro, it doesn't have radar, but in gunfights, as long as you're not going up as like a Groningen Friesland, Kitakazi. It's just the other DD's gonna have a rough day, especially if he's already injured. Now all this, I'm still using that exhaust, and you can see I'm not churning it as hard as I can, but she does make that turns very, very easy for a DD. But literally, the only thing that is left for me to do at this point is to watch where this Kearsarge gets absolutely teamed up on. Take a peek. And that's it. That's all she wrote. So we ended. Yes, it was a top tier game. It was a good mixture of 9s, 8s, and 7s. It wasn't like just all 7s or all 8s or anything. But you see, we still did 116k damage, 123 main battery hits, 5 torpedo hits, 4 kills. Ended up with a 2,330 XP, base XP for the night. And here's the little detailed damage report that we did. So, like I said, I mean, you could sit here and do plenty of work. Two destroyers, battleships. They'll take the hits on the torpedoes. The torpedoes are great, for what they are. But with that reload time being as slow as they are, definitely hold on to them a little longer until you know you have a decent shot, or you really just need to do that area deniability. But it's a good ship. But that kind of ends it for me today. If there's anything that you guys have, let me know. Either swing by Twitch. I'm on every single day from 10 p.m. Central Standard Time to about 7 a.m. in the morning. And I'd be more than happy to answer them. If you guys have anything else, let me know in the comments below. I will reply to all the comments. So you guys have a good one. I will see you next time. Bye, y'all.